So, there's only 2 days for today. One is National Bootleggers Day, and the other one, sort of appropriately linked, is National Hot Buttered Rum Day, which I've gathered the stuff for. It's time for another attempt. Yeah, I actually got a second thing in I guess a sub-series. I'm gonna have to try and set up the camera in a position where you can at least kind of see what I'm doing. So I'll be back in a moment. So hopefully it won't be as difficult as last time. As I'm still yet to get a proper tripod, that's on my list of things to do. We're doing it at this angle. So here's my mug, Deadpool mug. Thanks again to Georgia and Matt for giving me that for my birthday. We actually start with the butter. Or at least it says to, well, it says to start by muddling the butter and the spices and the sugar. Considering I'm going to have to sort of eyeball the butter, and because I'm going to be using the same spoon, let's do the sugar first. Actually no, I mean I'm going to have to wipe it off anyway, so, and it's easier to wipe off the powder. So a teaspoon of sugar. And these are again, it's whatever I found on the internet, and I don't know how well this is actually going to work. Yeah, teaspoon of brown sugar. I'm doing heaped because I like things sweet. I don't know, I really like the box. No, it says a tablespoon of butter. I don't have a clean tablespoon to hand, and I'm not going to the effort of cleaning one, but it's about, I'm going to say about that, I think. Will do. Maybe a little more. I am also just intending on muddling it with the back of the spoon. Now I'm using spiced rum instead of dark rum because I don't have any just regular dark rum to hand. I'm gonna put the butter back in the fridge while I'm talking. But yeah, do whatever you want, really. I'll tell you what to do. So I am using spiced rum because that's what I have in. I don't have dark rum in. Butter wasn't quite as soft as it could. What, I haven't been out for that long. It's not as soft as it could be, but it's kind of soft. But either way, I'm just going to add some of this ground spice mix. The website I'm using, or the recipe that I'm getting the basis off, said to use cinnamon, nutmeg, and allspice. I don't have allspice. I do have cinnamon and nutmeg, but this also has cinnamon and nutmeg in it, so I figure this will probably work. I'm not going to use a lot. Just like a couple dashes. Thing doesn't want to go. It's probably because it's been sat in the cupboard for a while and it's all there we go. That should be more than enough considering it's spiced rum as well. Yeah. Yes, now we're just gonna muddle it a bit, which considering it's butter and spices is a little easier said than done. So how was your day? My day was quite good. Well, my day was alright. Played some Smash. At the opticians, I've ordered new glasses, so anyone following the sort of pseudo narrative which is my life that trends into the back of this series. Yeah, it's my glasses. I will get different glasses soon. So yes, that's all the straight up liquid ingredients. Dash of vanilla extract was on the list. I'm going to put that in first. That's probably too much. Double of rum. You can use a single, I suppose, but the recipe I said says 2 ounces. Which is interesting because we don't actually do ounce measurements in the UK, and I don't think the jiggers are actually that different. I don't know. It's close. It's not quite an ounce. It's a bit under, at least according to what Google says is an ounce in a mil. I don't think you have to give this a stir now. I just am. And then yes, the rest, hot water. We stir this and hope it combines. Now the last thing we attempted worked, so hopefully this will as well. Now this is something I'd never heard of, unlike tempura. I'm getting it everywhere. Stir more gently, sir. Yes, I'm looking at you following on. I don't think anyone's going to follow along with this. Yeah, make sure not to make a complete mess of your surroundings while you do it. But yes. But it sounded interesting, and I checked and I had most of the stuff in for it. Like, we have sugar in for baking, we have rum in, because of course we have rum in. I'm trying to, like, not hit the sides while I stir, so it's not making so much noise. Obviously, hot water is easy access. Obviously, I've changed the size of the spicing slightly, which shouldn't make too much of a difference, and then butter's butter. I don't know how if I know if this is combined. It doesn't feel like it is. I want to make sure I get everything off the sides. There's some of the muddled thing. It looks really interesting. It smells very nice. Like, it smells almost like just caramel, like, which sugar, butter, and spices. You got yourself a kind of flavoured caramel there. Not to mention rum is already kind of a caramelly, at least dark rum. Spiced rum is already a caramelly flavour. Actually, in that vein, I wonder what this would have been like if I made it with the Southern Comfort that I've got over there, which obviously isn't rum, so it wouldn't be hot-blooded rum then, it'd be hot-blooded, I want to say whiskey, but be probably even more caramelly. Can't tell if this is done. Like, it smells really good though. What's the idea of a hot cocktail? I'm not completely again, just like before. I've said before, I'm not averse to it. But unlike before, I haven't interacted with it at all. I'm not unaware of it, just not interacted with it personally. I mean, I guess that looks like it would be like a thing that's in a position to consume. I'm going to have to move the camera to it because otherwise I'm just going to be pouring it even more all over the place. But that's what we have visually. That brown liquid that just looks like tea, honestly. State. But obviously, the proof of the pudding is in the tasting. It's nice. Probably didn't need the heaped teaspoon. It's a tad sweet. Then again, that also could be because of the rum used. I don't know if a non-dark rum or even I've got a bottle of Kraken over there, which is also spiced rum. That probably would have changed it a bit. But it's nice. I'm gonna let it cool down more before I drink any more of it because it's still quite warm. It's still kind of at the point where it's kind of too hot to drink. But yes, we made another attempt at another food-related thing, and it wasn't and again it wasn't a complete disaster. Maybe it wasn't quite as successful as the last one, but it wasn't a complete disaster, and I think that's a win.